Hello, and welcome back to the channel where we talk everything coins, currency, collectibles, and how you can turn pocket change into real money. If you're into coin collecting or just want to know what treasure might be hiding in your loose change jar, then you're in the right place. So grab your pennies and let's talk about one of the most surprising coins in modern US minting history, the 2020 no-mint mark Lincoln penny that's worth up to $32,000. Yes, you heard that right. $32,000 for a single penny that was minted just a few years ago in 2020. This tiny copper-plated zinc coin might look like any ordinary coin you'd use to buy gum or toss in a tip jar, but under the right conditions and with the right variety, it could be one of the most valuable pennies in your collection. So stick around as we dive into the history, design, special varieties, and the reasons why collectors are paying thousands for a coin most people ignore. Let's start with a little background. The Lincoln cent has been in circulation since 1909, when it was introduced to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, and Lincoln's bust on the obverse or front of the coin has been a fixture ever since. Over the years, the design has gone through a few changes, especially on the reverse or back of the coin. From 1959 to 2008, the reverse featured the Lincoln Memorial. Then in 2009, to celebrate Lincoln's 200th birthday and the bicentennial of his birth year, 4 special reverse designs were issued showing different scenes from his life. And finally, in 2010, the U.S. Mint introduced the shield reverse design, which continues to this day. Now the 2020 penny features that shield design on the reverse and Lincoln's familiar portrait on the front. Most people don't think twice about these coins. After all, billions are minted every year. But what makes some of them extremely valuable are mint errors or rare varieties that slip through quality control and end up in circulation. Now, when we say no mint mark, what does that mean? The U.S. Mint has several locations where coins are produced. The most common are Philadelphia, Denver, San Francisco, and West Point. Coins minted in Denver have a small D mint mark under the date. Those from San Francisco have an S, and West Point coins usually bear a W. However, coins minted in Philadelphia traditionally do not have any mint mark at all, especially on pennies. A 2020 penny with no mint mark is not necessarily rare in itself, since Philadelphia mints billions of pennies every year without a mint mark. But here's the twist. Some of the 2020 no mint mark Lincoln cents have very specific and rare errors that make them incredibly valuable. One of the most sought-after errors is the double die obverse variety. This happens when the coin is struck with a die that was misaligned or improperly manufactured, causing the image to appear doubled. If you look at the date or the word liberty or the phrase "in God we trust" and see doubling, then you might be looking at a double die penny. In some cases, this doubling is so strong that it's visible with the naked eye. These coins are highly collectible, and the more dramatic the error, the more they're worth. Collectors and dealers are paying hundreds and even thousands for well-preserved examples, especially in mint state condition. But here's where it gets really crazy. One known 2020 no-mint mark Lincoln penny with a dramatic die error was graded by a top grading service as MS67 or Mint State 67, which is a very high grade for a modern coin. Because of the rarity of that specific die variety and the condition of the coin, it sold for an incredible $32,000 at auction. That's right. 32 grand for a 1-cent coin minted in 2020. Now, before you run to your change jar and expect to retire rich, there are a few things you should know. First, not all 2020 pennies are valuable. In fact, most of them are only worth face value, which is just 1 cent. To have any significant value, your penny needs to have a rare error like a dramatic die clash, die crack, off-center strike, broad strike, or most famously, a strong double die. Second, the condition matters a lot. Collectors value coins that are in pristine condition, meaning they have little to no wear, no scratches, and a strong, clean strike. Coins graded MS65 and above, especially from a reputable grading company like Peace GS or NGC, will fetch the highest prices. Third, provenance matters. If your coin has been verified and graded professionally, its value goes up significantly compared to a raw, ungraded coin. That's why it's always worth submitting a coin that you believe could be rare or valuable to a grading service for proper authentication. How do you know if your 2020 penny might be worth something? Start by checking it carefully under a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. Look at the date and the lettering. Do you see any doubling? Any weird lines or shapes that shouldn't be there? Is the design off-center? Is there a noticeable crack or extra metal anywhere? All of these can be signs of a valuable error coin. Also check the weight. A standard 2020 penny should weigh about 2.5 grams. If it weighs significantly more or less, it could be struck on the wrong planchet, which is another type of valuable error. Next, consider checking recent auction listings or coin dealer websites to see what similar coins have sold for. Keep an eye on trusted coin forums and YouTube channels like this one, where we share updates on coin values and hot finds in the hobby. Let's talk about current market value. As of today, a typical 2020 no mint mark penny in circulation is still worth just a cent. But a confirmed error variety, especially one in mint state, can range from a few $100s to thousands. And in exceptional cases like that $32,000 coin, the value skyrockets due to rarity and collector demand. Now more and more collectors are getting into modern coins because of their accessibility and the thrill of finding treasure in everyday pocket change. So whether you're a casual collector or a serious numismatist, it's definitely worth keeping an eye out for these rare pennies. Before we wrap up, here are a few quick tips. Always check your change, especially new coins from rolls or bank boxes. Invest in a decent magnifier and start learning what to look for. Join online communities where other collectors share tips, finds, and alerts about new varieties. And if you think you have something special, don't hesitate to get it graded. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more awesome coin content. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare penny or if you have questions about your own coins. We'd love to hear your story. Until next time, happy collecting and good luck on your treasure hunt. That 2020 penny in your pocket just might be worth a whole lot more than 1 cent. Welcome back to the channel. If you love coins and hidden treasures that might be sitting in your pocket change, then you're in for a treat. Today, we are going to uncover the fascinating story and jaw-dropping value of the 1987 no mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. This is not just any ordinary penny. This is a coin that could be worth as much as $48,728, and yes, it could be hiding right in your collection, your change jar, or even your wallet. So, how can a 1-cent coin from 1987 possibly be worth thousands of dollars today? Well, let's start at the beginning. The Lincoln penny has been in circulation for over a century. First introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, the coin has undergone several changes over the decades. But the 1987 penny holds a very special place in the eyes of collectors due to one key detail, or rather the lack of one key detail, the mint mark. Now, for those who are new to coin collecting or just starting to learn the basics, a mint mark is a small letter stamped on a coin to show where it was made. Common mint marks in the United States include P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, and S for San Francisco. However, a no mint mark coin, especially from the era of 1987, often signifies something rare or unexpected. That's where things start to get interesting. Most 1987 pennies were minted in Philadelphia and did not carry a mint mark. That in itself is not unusual. What makes certain 1987 no mint mark pennies so special and so incredibly valuable is a combination of factors: condition, minting errors, and most importantly, rarity. Some of these coins were struck with errors during the minting process, and those errors can turn a common coin into a collectible worth tens of thousands of dollars. Imagine finding a tiny copper coin in near-perfect condition with a minting anomaly. Maybe a double die, off-center strike, or a unique planchet issue, and realizing that it's one of only a handful known to exist. That is the dream for coin collectors, and that dream became a reality for a few lucky people who discovered the rare 1987 no mint mark Lincoln pennies, now valued at an astonishing $48,728. Now let's talk about how this value is determined. Coin values depend on multiple factors. First is the grade, or the condition of the coin. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with higher numbers indicating better condition. A coin graded MS 70, which stands for mint state 70, is in perfect uncirculated condition. If a 1987 no mint mark penny is found in this pristine state, the value skyrockets. Secondly, rarity plays a big role. If there are only a few known examples of a specific variety or error, collectors will pay a premium to own one. Third, The demand in the market also influences the price. As more collectors become aware of these rare coins and competition increases, prices go up. And here's the kicker. A rare 1987 no-mint mark penny in near-perfect condition with a verified mint error was recently sold at auction for a mind-blowing $48,728. That's right, a single penny, originally worth 1 cent, now valued at more than the average annual salary. Talk about a massive return on investment. And guess what? There could still be more of these coins out there, hiding in plain sight. So, what should you look for if you want to find one of these rare and valuable 1987 pennies? First, check the date. Make sure it says 1987. Then, flip the coin over and carefully inspect both sides. Look for any unusual markings, signs of doubling, off-center strikes, or anything that looks different from a normal penny. Pay close attention to Lincoln's features, the lettering, the rim, and the surface of the coin. If it appears to be in excellent condition and lacks a mint mark under the date, it might be worth taking a closer look. Now here's an important tip. Never clean your coins. Cleaning can actually reduce their value. If you think you've found a rare 1987 penny, handle it with care, preferably with gloves or by the edges, and consider getting it evaluated by a professional coin grading service such as PCGS or NGC. They can officially grade and authenticate your coin, and that's what really unlocks its market value. Another important piece of the puzzle is understanding how these coins end up in circulation. Sometimes, mint errors go unnoticed during the production process. These error coins make it out into the general public before being discovered, often years later. That's why even decades after a coin has been minted, new rare varieties are still being found. It's part of what makes coin collecting so exciting and rewarding. You never know what you might discover, and while most 1987 pennies are only worth face value, the rare few with distinct characteristics are worth a small fortune. This story is a great reminder to never underestimate the value of your spare change. Every coin has a story, and some stories are worth thousands of dollars. So before you toss that penny aside or let it sit forgotten in a drawer, take a moment to check. You might just be holding a miniature gold mine. To wrap things up, the 1987 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is a perfect example of how a simple coin can carry incredible value due to rarity, condition, and minting anomalies. With one of these coins recently selling for $48,728, the hunt is on. So grab your coin jars, search your pocket change, and see if you might be the next lucky person to discover a hidden gem. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this deep dive into rare coins and hidden treasures, don't forget to like this video. Subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on our next exciting find. Until next time, happy hunting and good luck in your search for hidden coin treasures. Did you know that a single penny could be worth more than a brand new Tesla or even a down payment on a house? What if I told you that a simple 1999 Lincoln 1-cent coin without a mint mark has shocked collectors and investors alike by skyrocketing in value to an unbelievable $73,892? Yes, you heard that right. 73 grand for a penny. In this video, we're diving deep into the story, the history, and the mystery of the 1999 no-mint mark Lincoln penny and why this coin could be hiding in your change jar right now. So stay tuned, because you won't want to miss a second of this. Brief history of the Lincoln cent. Let's start with a little backstory. The Lincoln penny has been in circulation since 1909. That year marked the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth, making it the first time a real person appeared on a U.S. coin intended for everyday use. The design was created by Victor David Brenner and featured Lincoln's right-facing bust on the obverse. Over the decades, this coin has gone through several changes in design, composition, and minting techniques. From 1909 until 1958, the reverse side featured 2 wheat ears, often called the wheat penny. Then in 1959, to celebrate Lincoln's 150th birthday, the reverse was changed to show the Lincoln Memorial. That design lasted until 2008, after which a new shield design was introduced in 2010. The 1999 Lincoln penny still used the Lincoln Memorial design on the reverse, and it was produced in huge numbers by the U.S. Mint. Or so we thought. What does no mint mark mean? Now let's talk about the mint mark, or rather, the lack of one. Most modern US coins include a small letter indicating where the coin was minted. For example, coins with a P were made in Philadelphia, D in Denver, and S in San Francisco. However, for the Lincoln penny, Philadelphia minted coins typically did not include a mint mark at all. That's why you'll often see Lincoln cents with no letter under the date, and that's usually completely normal. But here's where things get interesting. Not all 1999 no mint mark pennies are created equal. While most are indeed common and worth just 1 cent, there are a few rare examples that contain minting errors or special conditions that make them extremely valuable. One such example has exploded in value due to its scarcity and condition, recently fetching a staggering $73,892 at auction. Why is this coin so valuable? So what makes this coin so special? Why would someone pay the equivalent of a luxury car for a penny that's barely older than the first Harry Potter movie? The answer comes down to rarity, error, and condition. Some 1999 no mint mark Lincoln pennies were struck with mistakes during the minting process. These errors include doubled dies, off-center strikes, and coins struck on the wrong metal planchets. One famous example of this is a 1999 penny struck on a foreign coin blank, which created an unusual color and weight difference. These anomalies are often caught early and destroyed, but a few escape the mint and enter circulation. Collectors prize error coins, especially when they're in pristine condition. The more perfect the coin looks, that means no scratches, no fingerprints, and sharp details, the more money it can fetch. The penny that sold for $73,892 was not only an error coin, it was graded as nearly flawless by professional grading services, making it a once-in-a-lifetime find. How to identify one of these valuable pennies? Alright, here's the part you've been waiting for. How can you tell if your 1999 no mint mark penny is worth a small fortune? First, take a look at the date. You're looking for a 1999 penny with no letter under the date. That's your starting point. Next, examine the coin closely. Use a magnifying glass or coin loop and look for doubling in the letters or numbers, which may indicate a doubled die. Pay special attention to areas like Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date itself. If the coin appears slightly off-center, or if the color looks odd, such as more silvery than copper, you might have a rare error. And finally, check the coin's condition. If it looks nearly brand new, with no wear and tear, then you could be holding onto a high-grade specimen that collectors would be willing to pay top dollar for. Getting your coin appraised. If you think you might have one of these special pennies, do not rush to sell it just yet. Your first step should be to get it professionally appraised and graded. There are reputable grading services like PCGS and NGC that can evaluate your coin, assign it a grade, and give it the certification that serious collectors look for. Once your coin is graded, you can decide whether to auction it, sell it to a private collector, or simply hold on to it as a long-term investment. But keep in mind, the market for rare coins can fluctuate, and timing is everything. The recent sale for $73,892 shows just how much demand there is right now for high-grade error coins from the late 90s. Final thoughts and call to action. So there you have it. The humble 1999 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, a coin most people would ignore or toss in a tip jar, could actually be worth a life-changing amount of money. With a current market value pushing $73,000 and climbing, it's time to take a second look at the coins in your collection, your wallet, and maybe even your couch cushions. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more fascinating stories from the world of coin collecting. Let us know in the comments if you've ever found a rare coin or if you're going to check your spare change after watching this. And don't forget to share this video with your friends. You never know, someone close to you might be holding on to a fortune and not even know it. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy collecting. Welcome back to the channel, fellow collectors, coin lovers, and curious minds alike. Today, we are diving into the story behind a tiny copper treasure that has shocked the numismatic world, the 1980 D mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. Yes, you heard that right. Some rare examples of this coin have reportedly sold for as much as $86,475. That is right, a single penny fetching enough to buy a brand new luxury car. So what makes this little copper coin from Denver worth such an incredible amount? Well, let us break it all down. First, let us start with some history. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It replaced the Indian head cent and became the first regular issue U.S. coin to feature a real person. In 1980, the Lincoln cent was still made mostly of copper with a composition of 95% copper and 5% zinc. It was not until 1982 that the U.S. mint changed the composition to a predominantly zinc base due to rising copper prices. Now, let us talk about the D mint mark. The D stands for Denver, one of the primary mints producing coins for circulation. The Denver mint struck hundreds of millions of Lincoln cents in 1980. In fact, more than 5 billion Lincoln cents with the D mint mark were made that year. So with such a massive mintage, how could one of these coins be worth tens of thousands of dollars? The answer lies in rarity, condition, errors, and collector demand. Let us start with condition. First and foremost, any 1980 D penny would have to be in pristine condition to be worth serious money. We are talking about a grade of MS67 or higher. According to the Sheldon scale, these are coins that have never been in circulation, have zero wear, and maintain their full original luster. Only a handful of 1980 D pennies have ever been found in such a high grade, which immediately makes them rare and valuable. But condition is just one piece of the puzzle. The real excitement comes from errors and varieties. Error coins are some of the hottest collectibles in the coin world, and when you mix a high grade with a dramatic mint error, you get astronomical value. Some 1980 D pennies have been discovered with off-center strikes, doubled dies, and even transitional errors, although these are exceedingly rare. For example, if a 1980 D penny was accidentally struck on a 1979 blank or on a foreign planchet, that coin could be worth thousands or tens of thousands of dollars, depending on the uniqueness of the error. Let us talk about the market reports that claim certain 1980 D Lincoln pennies have sold for over $86,000 in most cases. These are not just ordinary coins, these are extreme rarities found in top population reports graded by trusted services like PeaceGS or NGC. They may also be coins sold at elite auctions where collectors compete fiercely for that one perfect example. In those environments, prices can skyrocket far beyond typical collector expectations. But how realistic is it for the average person to find one of these valuable coins in their pocket change? While the odds are low, it is not impossible. There have been stories of collectors discovering high-grade or error coins from old rolls, inherited coin jars, or estate collections. The key is to look closely, use a magnifying glass, inspect for doubling, odd edges, incorrect weights, or off-center strikes. Pay attention to the mint luster and any unusual details. Now, let us zoom in on the grading aspect, because even without an error, a 1980 D penny in MS67 or better can command serious money. PCGS price guides list high-grade 1980 D cents at hundreds or even thousands of dollars due to their scarcity. In such perfect condition, only a small number of examples have been submitted and certified at those lofty grades, and collectors always pay a premium for the best of the best. You might be asking, what exactly would make a 1980 D penny worth $86,000? The answer would almost certainly be a combination of perfection and uniqueness, a perfect strike on a rare planchet or an undiscovered die variety found in uncirculated condition. That is the holy grail for coin collectors, and that is when auction prices reach jaw-dropping heights. Now, let us bring it back to the real world. What should you be looking for in your spare change? First, check the date and mint mark. Make sure it says 1980 and has the D below the date. Next, inspect for any doubling of letters or numbers, such as the word Liberty or the date itself. Look closely at Lincoln's era's bow tie or the edges of the coin. Check the reverse side too, especially the Lincoln Memorial, for any misalignments or blurs in detail. Finally, weigh the coin. A standard 1980 copper penny should weigh about 3.11 grams. If your coin weighs more or less than that, especially if it is way off, that could be a clue that you are holding something special. So there you have it. The humble 1980 D Lincoln penny might just be worth a fortune under the right circumstances. Whether it is a rare mint era, flawless gem in perfect condition, or part of a limited die variety, the possibilities are enough to make any collector's heart race. If you found this video helpful or entertaining, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the world of coins and currency. Let us know in the comments below if you have a 1980 D penny and what you think it might be worth. Who knows, maybe you are sitting on a small fortune and do not even know it yet. Thanks for watching, and until next time, happy hunting, and may the coin gods be ever in your favor. Have you ever checked your pocket change and thought maybe, just maybe, one of those pennies could be worth a small fortune? Well, today we are diving deep into one of the most surprising treasures of American coinage, the 1977 Lincoln 1-cent penny with no mint mark, a penny that most people overlook without a second thought could actually be worth up to $56,485. That's right, you heard that correctly, a single penny potentially worth over 56 grand. So sit back, grab your coin jars, and get ready because you might be holding onto a small piece of numismatic gold. Let's start at the beginning. The year is 1977. Jimmy Carter has just taken off as Star Wars hits theaters for the very first time, and somewhere in the midst of all the cultural shifts, the United States Mint continues its steady production of the humble Lincoln cent. But not all of these coins are created equal. While most are worth exactly 1 cent, there are rare exceptions, and these exceptions can be life-changing. Now, the first thing to know is that the 1977 Lincoln penny was produced in massive quantities. We are talking about over 4.4 billion pennies struck that year at the Philadelphia Mint. And here's the thing, back in 1977, coins struck at the Philadelphia Mint did not carry a mint mark, so if you find a 1977 penny without any mint letter, that's completely normal and expected. It's not an error per se, but here's where it gets really interesting. Even though the no mint mark is standard for Philadelphia coins in 1977, what makes some of these coins so valuable comes down to a few important factors: condition, rarity, demand, and in some cases, striking errors. When these things come together, magic happens, and a coin that should be worth only 1 cent turns into a collectible worth thousands. Let's talk about condition. First up, we have coins in circulating condition. These are your average pennies with visible where they've been used in transactions, dropped on the sidewalk, shoved in coin jars, and tossed around the world. Their value is usually close to face value, but not always. Some well-preserved circulated examples can go for a few bucks, maybe even a couple hundred if they're in excellent shape, but that's not where the real money is. The real value comes with uncirculated coins, and especially those graded by professional services like Pennies, GS, or NGC coins that receive high grades like MS65, MS66, or even MS67 can fetch serious money. The top of the line is the MS67 red designation. That's a coin with nearly perfect surfaces, full original red luster, and barely any marks at all. These coins are incredibly rare because most pennies never survive in that kind of pristine condition, and that brings us to the current market champion one: 1977 Lincoln cent graded MS67 red by Pennies, GS, sold for a staggering $56,485 at auction. This is one of the highest known prices ever paid for this coin, and it shows just how crazy the world of coin collecting can get. The reason for that massive price tag: it's a combination of extreme rarity, top-tier condition, and intense collector demand. Only a tiny handful of these coins have ever reached this grade, making them essentially unicorns in the wild. But that's not the only factor. Errors also play a big role in increasing a coin's value. Some 1977 pennies have been discovered with fascinating mint errors like off-center strikes, double dies, clipped planchets, or coins struck on the wrong metal planchets. These kinds of errors are rare and collectors love them. The more dramatic the error, the more valuable the coin. For example, a 1977 penny struck off-center by more than 50% could be worth several $100s. Depending on condition, a double die variety, where parts of the design appear doubled, can easily go for $1,000 or more if it's strong and well preserved. Even coins struck on a dime planchet, which is a rare mint mistake, can command thousands because they're so unusual. So you're probably wondering, how do I find out if my 1977 penny is valuable? Well, the first step is to look at it closely. Check for signs of heavy wear versus a shiny, untouched surface. If it looks brand new, it could be uncirculated. Next, consider sending it to a coin grading service. If you suspect it's in excellent shape, you'll want to look for that perfect red color, very few scratches, and sharp details, especially in Lincoln's hair and the lettering around the edge. If you think you might have an error coin, compare it to known examples online, or take it to a coin dealer, or show. The numismatic community is full of helpful people who can guide you in identifying what you've got. Even better, you can use a good magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to examine it more closely and catch tiny details that could mean big bucks. Let's take a moment to talk about why collectors love these coins so much. The Lincoln penny has been in continuous production since 1909, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in American history. That sense of continuity and historical significance adds to its charm. Plus, collecting pennies is a great entry point for beginners. They're easy to find, and the thrill of discovering a rare gem in every day Change is just unbeatable. The 1977 no mint mark penny is part of that history, and for those rare few that have been preserved in mint state or found with dramatic mint errors, they become not just a coin, but a story, a relic, a prize from 1 cent to over $56,000. The journey is incredible, so next time you're handed a penny, don't just toss it aside. Take a closer look, check the date, inspect the condition. You never know what you might be holding. It could be the coin that changes your life. And if you liked this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more deep dives into coin values, history, and tips to turn your pocket change into treasure. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or if you're now running to check your piggy bank. And remember, every coin has a story. What's yours?